All right, let's just jump right in. The coffin you can eat. And no, that's not a typo. We are talking about a world-famous street food with a name that might make you do a double take, but a taste that will absolutely make you want more. It's the first question everybody asks. I mean, how on earth does a delicious, savory snack end up with a name that's, well, so dark? Stick around because the story behind it is just as amazing as the dish itself. So for this, we're heading to the city of Tainan in southern Taiwan. It's known as a paradise for food lovers. And among all of its incredible dishes, there's one that really stands out, mostly because of its wild name. We're going to unpack everything, the history, the ingredients, and some brilliant wordplay behind this legendary snack. Okay, so let's get the official introduction out of the way. The dish is called guanskai ban, and yep, that literally translates to coffin board. At its heart, it's a super thick piece of fried bread, hollowed out and stuffed with a creamy chowder. But here's the thing, it wasn't always called that. To really get how we landed on coffin, we have to go back to the beginning, back when this dish had a much more elegant and, let's be honest, a much more normal name. Our story kicks off at the bustling Sakuriba night market in Tainan. And it all starts with one creative and, as we'll see, very humorous inventor named Mr. Shu Liui. He was trying to create something new, a kind of fusion dish that brought together Western and Eastern flavors. And this is what he came up with. He took a really thick slice of bread, fried it till it was golden and puffy, and then hollowed it out. Bam! You've got a perfect, edible bowl. He'd fill this crispy box with a creamy Western-style chowder, but the star ingredient, the key ingredient, was chicken liver. It was a delicacy, and it's what gave the original dish its name. So the dish was first called chicken liver board, or jigenban. Makes sense, right? It's elegant, it tells you what's in it, but somehow it became guankaiban, or coffin board. So what in the world happened to cause that kind of a change? Well, the answer, believe it or not, came from a group of academics who just happened to have a very specific point of view. This was the moment that sealed the snack's fate forever. Just picture this for a second. A group of archaeology professors, they've been digging all day, they're exhausted, and they're starving. They wander into Mr. Hu's little stall at the night market, and they order his signature chicken liver board. They sit down to eat, and that's when one of them has a total light bulb moment. Seriously, one of the professors looks down at this square, golden fried bread box with its little bread lid sitting on top and just blurts that out. Can you imagine the scene? To him, it was a perfect, edible little version of the ancient stone slab coffins he spent his days working with. Now, you'd think most chefs would be horrified to have their masterpiece compared to a coffin. But not Mr. Su. He was a marketing genius in disguise. He didn't get angry. He thought it was hilarious. And more importantly, he knew it was unforgettable. So he leaned right into the joke. From that day on, the chicken liver board was gone, and the legendary coffin board was born. Okay, so now we know the wild story behind the name. But let's put those morbid thoughts aside for a second and talk about what makes this thing so unbelievably delicious. What is actually inside this so-called coffin? The whole process is actually wonderfully simple. First, you take that super thick toast and deep fry it until it puffs up into a golden box. Then, you cut out the center to make the bowl and the lid. The filling, which today is usually a creamy chowder with stuff like shrimp, chicken, mushrooms, and onions, gets cooked up until it's nice and savory. And finally, that hot chowder is poured right into the crispy bread box, the little lid is placed back on top, and it's served piping hot. The real magic here is the incredible contrast. You get that amazing crunch from the fried bread box, and then you hit that rich, creamy, super savory filling inside. It's a whole, hearty, comforting meal, all in one completely edible package. But wait, the story is not over yet. As you can probably guess, a name like coffin board, while definitely memorable, might not be the most appetizing thing for everybody. So, local culture did what it does best. It adapted. To make the name a little more, lucky and a little less final, this fantastic bit of wordplay started to catch on. It's a pun that totally flips the meaning of the dish without even changing how you say it. So here's how this little language hack works. In Mandarin, the word for coffin, which is this first character here, is pronounced guan. But, as luck would have it, a completely different character, this second one, which means government official,
is pronounced the exact same way, guan.
And this is the brilliant part. By just swapping that one character from the one for coffin to the one for official, the name completely transforms. Guan Kai Ban goes from meaning coffin board to official's fortune board. Suddenly, it's a dish that wishes you a promotion and wealth. It's an absolutely genius cultural pivot. So, the next time you see this on a menu in Taiwan, you'll know the incredible story behind it. It's just a perfect example of how food is so much more than just food. It's a story of creativity, humor, and culture all wrapped up in one delicious fried package. A dish born from fusion, named by archaeologists, and then rebranded by a pun. It really only leaves one question. Are you eating for the thrill of the coffin or the luck of the fortune? Thanks for joining me on this one.